Hey everyone, my name is Wedge and welcome back to the world famous Best of the Rest series. I know, it's a big deal. It isn't. Anyways, in this video we'll be talking about the rest of the green cards and cons of Tarkir not spoiled individually so far. Archer's Parapet is 2 mana for a 0/5 wall with Defender. You can pay 1 colorless and 1 black and tap it to have each opponent lose 1 life. This card is not something that I would want to play, but it can grind out an opponent in a really annoying way. 2 mana for a 0/5 isn't spectacular by any means, I just think ping abilities are funny. Also, this art kind of reminds me of Helm's Deep in Lord of the Rings, so I'm a bit biased. Awaken the Bear is 3 mana for an instant. Target creature gets +3/+3 and gains trample until end of turn. For a combat trick that gives +3/+3, this is a little expensive, but trample does make it a bit better. I still wouldn't say that this is a top tier combat trick, but if you're lacking ways to get through a bunch of tokens, I've heard that trample is a good way to deal with that. Become Immense is 6 mana for an instant with Delve. Target creature gets +6/+6 until end of turn. This is one of those cards that can come out of nowhere and win or lose you the game. Delve makes this a serious mid-game threat. By removing 3 or 4 cards in the graveyard, you have a 2 or 3 mana +6/+6 combat trick bomb. I actually really like this card. It can swing games in an instant. Very cool and effective. The design of this card is near flawless. Feed the Clan is 2 mana for an instant with Ferocious. You gain 5 life. If you control a creature with power 4 or greater, you gain 10 life instead. 10 life is a lot of life for 2 mana, but that isn't why I'm talking about this card. I generally don't like life gain spells in Limited. The reason I want to talk about this is because of the flavor text. The teamer believe 3 things only are needed in life: a hot fire, a full belly, and a strong companion. A fire, some good food, and friends. What a happy clan. How can you not love these guys for the frontier? Incremental Growth is 3 colorless and 2 green for a sorcery that at least some of us have seen before. Put a +1/+1 counter on target creature, 2 +1/+1 counters on another target creature, and 3 +1/+1 counters on a third target creature. This is a reprint from Lorwyn and Modern Masters, but more relevant now than ever. This card is a huge bomb, especially for Obzan players. The card does exactly what you want. It triggers all of your Outlast abilities. It also spreads 6 power and toughness across the battlefield. I really like this card. It's going to perform better than most people think. It's like a reverse Kona Flame. Love it. Kintree Warden is 1 green mana for a 1/1 human warrior with a morph cost of 1 green. You can pay 2 colorless and regenerate it. Well, isn't this guy just a bother? Generally, you don't want to play 1 mana 1/1s, but if you were to ever do that, an Obzan deck would be the place. He just doesn't die, and his cost to regenerate isn't very high. I just think he's funny. Not a limited staple or anything, just hilariously annoying / funny. Longshot Squad is 4 mana for a 3/3 Hound Archer with Outlast costing 1 colorless and 1 green. Each creature you control with a +1/+1 counter on it has reach. There goes the flying plan. What's funny is that this actively fights Obzan Ascendancy, so that's humorous to me. Beyond that, flying is a strong keyword to have in Limited. Giving everything reach is relevant. If you get this guy and you're playing Obzan, he's a perfectly fine addition to your deck. Pinewalker is 3 colorless and 2 green for a 5/5 Elemental with a morph cost of 5. When the walker or another creature you control is turned face up, untap that creature. This card can cause some serious blowouts in combat. While it isn't the most efficient ability, you're probably playing this guy anyways. A 5 mana 5/5 in a format filled with 4 power creatures is valuable. It's definitely an inclusion in pretty much any green deck, not even just teamer strategies. Roar of Challenge is 3 mana for a sorcery with Ferocious. All creatures able to block target creature this turn do so. If you control a creature with power 4 or greater, that creature gains indestructible until end of turn. This would be a teamer spell. This thing is brutal if you have Ferocious. There are a ton of huge creatures in the clan. Even if you aren't using a truly gigantic creature, anything with 4 or more power will take down multiple threats from the Jeskai, Mardu, or Obzan in the mid-game. Having indestructibility is just value. This is a pseudo removal spell. I like it a lot. Seek the Horizon, another reprint, is 4 mana for a sorcery. Search your library for up to 3 basic land cards, reveal them, and put them into your hand. First off, this art is going to be the most beautiful art ever in foil. I need a bunch of them. Past that, the card is going to be sought after and limited. We're talking about a slow format where you want to be playing 18 lands to support your 3 colors. Seek the Horizon single-handedly fixes all of your mana issues in one spell. Normally I don't suggest playing expensive land search cards in limited, but this is different. It's a 3-color format, the rules have changed, and Seek the Horizon's awesome. I don't know how you feel, but I'm positive I like this card. Positive. Sultai Flayer is 4 mana for a 3/4 Naga Shaman. Whenever a creature you control with toughness 4 or greater dies, you gain 4 life. I actually really like this card. Not even for Sultai, but for Temur and Obzan. Your creatures will die. Chances are, they'll have 4 toughness. The life gain over time with the Flayer is impressive. Not only that, but the body on it's relevant. A 3/4 is perfectly reasonable for the cost and the ability. I find myself liking this card more and more the more I talk about it. Tuskguard Captain is 3 mana for a 2/3 human warrior with Outlast costing only 1 green. Each creature you control with a +1/+1 counter on it has Trample. This is a fairly costed Outlast creature with a cheap Outlast activation, and it gives Trample. Obzan players, I can already tell I'm going to get a headache from playing against all of you. Willy Loxodon is 5 colorless and 2 green for a 6/7 elephant warrior with a morph cost of 6. It's so big, I'm not even sure what to say. I think it's impressive for a common. A 6/7 is seriously gigantic even in this format. Sure, it's 7 mana, you want to be doing a bunch of other stuff, more impactful spells that may mess with your opponent. But hey, you could just drop a massive elephant warrior on their face. If you're lacking some endgame, this Loxodon could be what you're looking for. Again, 7 mana is a lot, but this guy is like a lot of elephant. You get it. Much like blue, I'm starting to think that green makes a fantastic supporting color in this limited format. It doesn't have the amount of removal and direct damage that black or red have, but it has a ton of utility in it. A lot of the cards can go between Obzan, Sultai, and Temur pretty effectively. It's a solid color. I don't think it's getting as much attention as it should, honestly. I know I'm impressed overall. What do you all think about green? Does it make you lean toward a specific clan? Does it make you shy away from others? Let me know how you feel in the comments. As always, subscribe for the latest and most reliable Cons of Tarkir spoiler information you could ever need. This is the Mana Source. I'm Wedge. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.
Wow.